Hello everyone, what's up guys, how are you? It's Monica J of SoulFamilyOnline.com, and I'm coming to you live from Brooklyn, New York with my morning thoughts. My morning thoughts, which is kind of like morning inspiration, and this title is something I've been thinking about heavily, but something I deal with every day actually, and it's the question that many parents ask: does my child have a developmental delay? Or is there something wrong with my child? Or do you think, based on this and this and that my child may have some type of delay? What should I do? What do you think? As an early childhood special needs educator, these are questions that I answer all of the time, that I hear all of the time. And I know for parents, especially first-time parents, I understand that asking that question to someone, does my child have a developmental delay, or is there something my child is delayed in, or is something wrong? You know, I know that's a hard question to ask, so hard. It's not easy at all. Or on the flip side, if someone is recommending services or telling you that your child may have a developmental delay or an issue or something that, you know, needs to be looked into a little further, that's also something that's very hard to accept. It's hard to understand, and it takes time. But as an early childhood special needs educator, I just wanted to share 3 tips to anyone, any parent, any child care provider, any teacher, anyone who may be struggling with something like this, or who may think a child needs some extra help, or maybe, you know, lagging behind in some developmental areas. Well, I have 3 tips for you. 3 tips: observation, support, and follow-up. Those are my 3 tips for you, for any parent, any child care provider, anyone who may think a child may have a delay, or you're just questioning certain actions or certain things they may or may not be doing. So observation. For you, you can just observe what your child's doing or what they're not doing. Take mental notes, and aside from taking mental notes, I really suggest and urge you to take real notes. Take notes on paper, put it in your phone and your computer, wherever you can. But observe your child. Observe the actions that they're doing. Observe what it is that you're concerned about exactly, and write it down. Whether it's that your child is not doing a skill that you think they should be doing, or whether they're doing a skill and you're not so sure about the way they're doing it, well, write down all of your concerns. Write down when it happens, write down exactly what you're seeing, what your concerns are, and keep that and track that over a period of time. And I don't say a long period of time, but a week. You know, track that over a week, maybe 2 weeks. And then support. You want to go out and get support. You want to go out and ask questions to a specialist, a professional, and I recommend you seeing your child's pediatrician first. Pediatrician, family doctor, head to them first. You know, show them, the things you've observed, what you've written down, all of your notes, your concerns, and then let them do, some further investigating. Let them talk to you, let them test your child, or do whatever, whatever different things they need to do. And then if they feel from there that their screening may be needed or an evaluation may be needed, okay. Or they may tell you, be a little patient with your child. You have to remember, every child develops at a different pace. So what one 3-year-old may be doing may not be what your 3-year-old is going to be doing, or maybe your 3-year-old will do it later on. So you have to give your child time and have patience with your children. The next thing after the support, then you want to follow up. So follow up with whatever the recommendations of your family doctor or pediatrician were. Follow up with that, and then always follow up with your own observation. So your observation is continuous. Your observation of your child should never end. Always follow up with your observation of whatever that specific skill or milestone that you had concerns about. Well, you follow up with that. Keep observing and keep track of it. Keep notes. Have a special notebook or a binder somewhere where you keep the notes, and you keep following up. And then, of course, you follow up with whatever the recommendations of your pediatrician were. Then you follow up with that and see what you need to do moving forward. So those are just 3 quick tips, but developmental delays, I mean, this is something we can talk about over the course of weeks, right? There's so much information, from just understanding the developmental milestones and skills that your young learner, your young children go through over the course from, from birth really, but from 3 to 8 years of age. I mean, there are so many skills and milestones that they're going to reach during this time, and every child reaches them at a different pace. but you do want to keep observing and be aware of where your child is. And how do you know that? What are you supposed to measure this against? Or, how do you compare it against other children their age? Well, this is something we can continue talking about. But I need more time, probably a different format, maybe even a webinar. Let me know what you think. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you think. If you think this is a topic you'd want a webinar on, a free webinar, let me know. But I definitely know that when it comes to your children and developmental delays and the concerns you may have or the concerns of others, it's hard. It's hard to accept, it's hard to understand, and sometimes it's just hard to ask anyone that question. Does my child have a developmental delay? I totally get it. I understand how painful and how hard it can be. But you just think about those 3 tips. Observe, observation, support. Get support, ask questions, and then follow up, okay? Think about those tips, use those tips, and I'll be back here to discuss this again. So thank you guys for joining me.